Hi, my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Talk to Me, directed by Danny Philippou and Michael Philippou, and starring Sophie Wilde, Alexandra Jensen, Joe Bird, and Miranda Otto. So, the story focuses on Mia, played by Sophie Wilde. She is a teenager commemorating the 3-year anniversary of the untimely death of her mother. Feeling that confiding in her father is useless and going nowhere, she decides to go with her friend Jade, played by Alexandra Jensen, and Alexandra's little brother Riley, played by Joe Bird, to a party whereby they can participate in a supernatural event whereby grabbing a ceramic hand, they can commune and allow themselves to be possessed by the dead. So Mia decides to try this out, and naturally things go sideways pretty quickly. So the biggest strength this movie has are the performances. All of the performances feel lived in, and the characters have great chemistry with each other. The characters, Mia and Riley, have a particularly fun driving karaoke sequence where they sing to Sia the Chandelier, which was a pretty fun sequence in a film that's more or less devoid of many things fun. Plus, Sophie Wilde is great as Mia, a sorrowful teenager attempting to drown out her sorrow by communing with the dead. Yeah, which is highly ironic now that I say that sentence aloud. But hey, again, like I said, Mia's not feeling too well. Plus, Miranda Otto is great as Sue, a mother who, despite putting on a rather strict, isolated visage, she's actually rather lenient with what she'll let her kids get away with. She still has some boundaries, but she's like, I mean, she's smart. She's like, oh, when's the party? And the kids are like, what party? And to which she's like, I know there's a party, just be safe and don't get yourself killed, okay? I really enjoyed that in the character. Plus, the characters all use their physicality to great effect during the possession sequences, and the performances blend well with the digital and practical VFX. Though the gore can seem a tad gratuitous at times. I mean, I get what they're going for, but in the beginning, but then it just feels like they're overusing it at certain points. Like at one point, one character just absolutely goes in ballistic on their forehead, and then they do it again later on in the film to equally gory effect, and it's like, okay, it need to be that gory, it's, I don't know, just again, like I said, felt a little gratuitous, though I have seen far more gratuitous movies, to be certain. So where the film starts to fall apart, though, is the cinematography and the writing. So the writing feels uneven and in some ways unfinished at times. So the writing will feature subtle commentary about the effects of social media on children, only to kind of forget about it about halfway through the movie. The writing will also skillfully avoid over-explaining the supernatural phenomenon, only to feel like it could have used a little bit more explanation in the third act as the character makes a decision where I was like, okay, I can see where you're trying to go with this in regards to the character's character development, but how did this character know that would happen? I don't know. Just again, like I said, could have used a little bit more exposition, visual or otherwise, to clear things up. Plus, the writing will also feature some pretty skillful setups and payoffs, only to have interesting subplots that go nowhere. Like, for example, as I mentioned earlier, Mia's mom is dead, and the film tries to raise up some questions regarding her death that never feel answered, because it's implied that the mother didn't commit suicide, and it tries to lay down doubts whether or not the supernatural spirits are lying to her or if her father is telling the truth. And the film never goes anywhere with that. The subplot feels unresolved, and like the writer was just like, okay, this has gone on long enough. Let's just get to the finish line already. Plus, topping off all these flaws is the fact that at a 90-minute runtime, this film feels like a 2-hour movie, which is never a good feeling, at least in my opinion. So the cinematography is also a bit of a mixed bag. On the one hand, it overuses shallow focus and close ups to convey the dread and isolation that the characters feel. It works well enough at first. Like, there's a good sequence where Mia's in the kitchen with her father and the father's in shallow focus. That was a good use, but it just feels like the shallow focus effect is just way overused as the film goes on. It feels like the filmmakers could have used a few other cinematography tricks up their sleeves to balance out the film. However, on the other hand, the film does have some pretty solid one takes, especially at the beginning in the cold open, which I thought was really well done. Plus, the possession sequences themselves feature dynamic camera work to help sell you on the possession, so it's good there. So, though it benefits from committed performances, Talk to Me is weighed down by uneven writing and sluggish pacing. And so, with all that in mind, I will be giving Talk to Me 2.5 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite horror movie about being possessed and why?